Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. My name is Chris. We have a great video for you today, a very timely video. I hope that you'll watch this and get some great information out of it because I know you can if you just follow the steps that I talk about. So we're going to talk about 3 great New Year's reseller resolutions for your reselling business. So stick around at the intro song. We'll get into that topic. We'll also pull some orders that have sold for me on Poshmark and eBay.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? I'll sell on eBay.
Okay, so because the topic is very important and a lot of you don't always watch my videos for the items that have sold, but more just for the topics, let's just get straight into the topic. First of all, that's my New Year's present for you all. So Happy New Year. I hope you had a good, safe, and fun celebration. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of why you're watching this video. 3 top reseller resolutions for your business now that we are into 2025. My 2024 was fantastic. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a part-time reseller, so about 10, maybe 15 hours a week doing this reselling business. Sell primarily on eBay, a little bit on Poshmark, a little bit less on some of the other platforms. But I have made a drastic change in my business starting about 13 months ago, and it has caused my sales to essentially double from one year to the next. And a lot of these changes I implemented last year right around the new year. So I think it's a great time for any of you who want to kickstart your reselling business. Go ahead and implement some of these resolutions into your business and you will see hopefully similar results or even better than I have. Before we get into the exact resolutions though, I want to talk about a concept that many of you maybe have heard before, and I won't spend a ton of time on it because it's a little bit corporate speaky and boring, but it's the concept of SMART goals. So SMART goals, the SMART portion is an acronym and it stands for S, specific, M, measurable, A, achievable, R, realistic, and T, time-based. So whenever you take the resolutions that I give you and tweak them to suit your specific business needs, I want you to use this concept of SMART goals in mind. So we'll break that down here and I'll use a specific goal to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And that goal is addressing your death pile, okay? Let's say that you have decided that one of your goals for the year in your reselling business is to address your death pile because it's just too big and too out of hand and you want to minimize it, lessen it, lower it, make it more manageable, okay? So if that's your goal, well, that's a good basic goal to have, but that doesn't fall under the SMART goal category. It's not specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or time-based. So we need to take those pieces, tweak that goal, and make it fit those SMART criteria. So that's what SMART goals are, that's what it stands for, and when we're going through the resolutions, we're gonna keep that in mind when we take the resolutions that I suggest and then you tweak them however you see fit to make them fit your reselling business specifically. 2025 reseller resolution number 1 relates to a concept called sell-through rate. And your goal may be anywhere along the spectrum, which it could be, if I just said sell-through rate, you heard that and you went, what is sell-through rate? Well, I think your number 1 goal should be just figure out what sell-through rate is and how it works in your specific business, okay? If you know what sell-through rate is and you want to work on implementing it into your business, you need to commit to having a specific sell-through percentage number in mind whenever you source, okay? So you need to figure out what is the best sell-through percentage for you, what the best sell-through rate is, and then you want to apply that into your business when you go out sourcing for the year 2025. Me personally, my number is 50%. I committed last year whenever possible. It's not a fail-safe. It's not I will never buy something if it has below a 50% sell-through rate, but that is the goal that I want to shoot for with every item that I source. I want it to have a minimum 50% sell-through rate. So if that item doesn't fall into that category, a lot of the times, the vast majority of the time, I will not get it. There are certain occasions where maybe for personal reasons I might buy that item. Just for example, maybe it's a cool 80s item, an 80s piece of clothing, an 80s toy, something from the 1980s that is really important and personal to me. I might look past the sell-through rate because it's just such a cool item. But most of the time, when I look at that item and if it doesn't have that 50% sell-through rate, out the door, right off the bat, okay? But for you, don't use 50%, or maybe you do, but use whatever number is going to work for you. Maybe that number's higher, maybe it's a 90% sell-through rate, maybe it's 10%, whatever it is. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into what sell-through rate works better for you. If you have a lot of time to list a ton of items, then you can have a lower sell-through rate because you don't need to maximize the time you have to list only good items. That's why I have a little bit higher sell-through rate, because I only have maybe an hour a day to list things. So I want to make sure that the time that I do spend listing is listing high quality items that have a higher sell-through rate. But for you, figure out what that is, but commit to coming up with a sell-through rate for your items for the year. Reseller resolution number 2, make a listing goal. It should be a daily listing goal, but make a listing goal where you will list X number of items every day for the whole entire period, for the whole duration of your goal. If this is a monthly goal, if this is an annual goal, you want to set a daily listing goal for that entire month or that entire year. Now, when it comes to a daily listing goal, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to come out every single day and list items, because you could take advantage of the draft bank that eBay allows you to set up. So you maybe your goal is to list 3 items a day, but you come out one day on Sundays and you draft 18 listings, and then you submit 3 listings for that day. So you have 21 listings that you do all on Sunday. 3 you've already published the first day, and then the other 18 you're going to do 3 a day for the rest of the week until you do 21. So whatever it is, you just need to commit to a daily listing goal. Tweak that however it works in your process, so that you can actually make sure that every single day you are publishing new listings to eBay, and figure out what that number is, but make it realistic. So this is where that SMART goal is going to come into play. So we're getting specific. We're going to say we want to list, we'll just use that 3 number. We want to list 3 items a day. We're specifically saying how much we want to list. It's measurable because either we do the 3 listings and we achieve it, or we don't do the 3 listings and we don't achieve the goal. So it's measurable, but also is it achievable? Meaning I might have this grand idea, I want to list 25 items a day. I mean, that's a great goal to have, right? Because if you list 25 items a day and they're good, high quality items, your sales are going to go skyrocketing through the roof, right? But maybe that's not at all realistic. For me, listing 25 items a day is going to take me probably 5 hours. Who knows how long it'll take, but it'll take me a lot of time that I don't have to invest into listing that many things. So if I was to set a goal for 25 items a day, that is not achievable. It's not something that I'm going to regularly achieve. I might be able to achieve it one day out of the week, but not every single day. So it's not achievable. It's also realistic. So the realistic and achievable kind of go hand in hand. It's not realistic for me to be able to devote that much time. So come up with a number of items, a daily number of items that is realistic and achievable for you. Do you actually have the inventory? Maybe you have the time to list 10 items a day, but you don't have the availability of inventory to list 10 items. So it's not realistic to have a goal of 10 items a day. You need to make sure that you have enough, either death pile or you're sourcing enough new items so that you can maintain that daily listing goal. And then lastly, time-based. That's what I'm talking about, where you're going to do it over a month, you're going to do it over a year. I suggest doing it over a shorter time period to start out with. And I highly recommend a month, because so that way you can just make it a natural part of your business routine, what you're doing on a regular basis. And so the reason why I don't really like longer time periods, because what might happen if you're 6 weeks into it and all of a sudden you're just not doing well in that goal at all, you're not achieving your daily goals, but you have this annual goal and it just seems so unattainable, so unachievable that you just kind of give up completely on it. Well, that's why we don't necessarily want these long-term goals when we're first starting out. If you're into a routine and you're just killing it on listing day after day after day after day after day, sure, make a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month goal. But let's, in the shorter term, while we're still getting our feet wet, just make it a shorter 1-month time period, something like that, okay? So that is taking the SMART principles and applying it to a daily listing goal, which is reseller resolution number 2. Now, reseller resolution number 3, and I think perhaps might be the most important of them all, for a lot of folks anyway, is after you've created your goal, your resolution number 1 and your resolution number 2, resolution number 3 should be picking a short-term reward for yourself for achieving resolution 1 and 2. You need to have some sort of concrete reward for all of the effort that you've put in to doing the first 2 resolutions that I mentioned earlier. Whatever that reward is, that's completely up to you, but it should have something of value, something that is going to actually make you want to put in the effort to achieve the first 2 resolutions, okay? Maybe it's, it could be as big as, you know, I'm going to pay for a weekend away at a spa resort. You know, I'm going to take my spouse and myself and we're going to spend $1,500 on a weekend at a fancy resort as a reward for achieving goal 1 and 2. Now it's probably on the higher end of what I'm talking about. Maybe it's something as low as I'm going to buy myself a new pair of shoes, you know, for $45. Whatever it is, come up with something that is actually going to be motivating to you, and something that also you're not just going to do no matter what. You know, if you need a new pair of shoes and 6 weeks from now you're going to buy one regardless of if you achieve the goal or not, don't choose that as your reward. Choose something that you're not going to already be doing for yourself and make it something that is actually going to be motivating to you, so that you will put in the work, put in the effort, you know, think to yourself, if I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to get that reward, that, you know, spa weekend or whatever it is. Come up with something that is actually going to motivate you. Okay, so once again, 3 reseller resolutions that I suggest for you for 2025. Number 1, commit to a specific sell-through rate percentage for your business and implement that in the year 2025. Number 2, make a listing goal, a daily listing goal, and commit to that over a certain time period, like a month, so that you can really get into the habit of listing things regularly in your reseller business. And number 3, come up with a reward that you will reward yourself with if you achieve those first 2 reseller goals. Okay, that's going to be it for those reseller resolutions, but stick around. I've got some great items that have sold for me on Poshmark and eBay, so let's go over what those are. This first item that sold is a Poshmark item. I picked it up for $7.99 at my favorite thrift store. It was a new to me variant of Lucky Jeans. You ever heard of... Let me know if you've heard of these before, if I can find them. Well, I didn't watch it, but this show just ended its series run. But these are Yellowstone by Lucky Brand jeans. So these Yellowstone jeans are, I think, a little bit higher end than your normal Lucky jeans. I don't know exactly how much they are new, but picked these up, like I said, for $7.99. This is what the tag looks like on the inside. These are the 363 vintage straight version. Again, there's the tag on the back. And those sold on Poshmark for $31 plus shipping. Took an offer on those and took maybe 2 months to sell, so not too bad. This sold in less than a month. I took a page from another reseller that I follow who said that natural fabrics are very popular. Whoa, nowadays, as my whole rack almost falls over. And this is a J. Crew 100% merino wool V-neck that I picked up for $3.99 at my favorite thrift store. So merino wool, cashmere, basically wool in general, and cotton even, and cashmere. So those kind of 3 fabrics are very popular, for lack of a better term, at this stage of the year. This sold for $20 plus shipping in less than a month. And this is even a slim model, or slim fit, J. Crew merino wool V-neck sweater. When you're out there sourcing, if you're sourcing for clothes, sweaters, look for those natural fabrics. Wool, cashmere, merino wool, and cotton even, to a certain extent. Cotton, you're not going to get the premium that you will on the wool, and certainly the cashmere items. But it's still, it has a chance to sell quicker. I don't really understand the trends. You know, why is that bigger now than in the past? But people are not liking their non-natural fabrics. By the way, for those of you that might be new to my channel, if you haven't already, consider subscribing and even liking this video as well, if you got a little bit of value out of it. I hope you did. That's Percy. This next item that's sold is a Thomas the Train that I got from my favorite thrift store as well. A lot of things from my favorite thrift store. It said it was, oh, it's A3. There he is. This is a special golden, this is a Trackmasters Thomas, by the way. Those are the ones that have batteries and will actually pull or go along the track on their own with the batteries. Picked up a whole big lot of these for 10 bucks. This is the first one that sold. This is a golden Thomas, sold for $24.99 plus shipping. This was part of a special pack that I think you bought at Toys R Us specifically. So there were 4 metallic, shiny metallic versions of the trains: Thomas, Gordon, James, and Percy. So kind of a unique, rare-ish version. And this isn't even complete. He actually had a car back here, and I think that would have probably raised the value up to about $25 or about $40 or so. But even without it, 25 bucks plus shipping. So everything else that I sell, and I had probably 6 other, no, but let's say 5 other listings. That'll all be pure profit on that one. Here's a little sale. If I had to do this again, I wouldn't buy this. Paid $3.99 for this Apple Wi-Fi. What's that called specifically? Apple Airport Express. This is an older version. I don't know what the difference is between the versions, but this is the A1264. Something you are supposed to use in an airport to hopefully, I don't know, maybe make things more secure for you while you're using your MacBook. But that sold for $14.20 plus shipping. Took a long time to sell, which is why I probably wouldn't be buying that again. Probably 9 months or so to sell. I've talked a lot lately about how I've been trying to source on Whatnot, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it's fun. Let me clarify. It's fun, but I end up getting burned more often than I would like. This was actually a very good sale, though. I picked this shirt up for right around $5, including the shipping. The Whatnot host said that he wasn't sure, but he thought this had something to do with Grateful Dead. And I'm not a huge, well, I'm not even a passing Grateful Dead fan, but I took his word for it, and it did. So, or at least it was Grateful Dead adjacent, let me put it this way. So this shirt sold for $30, free shipping on that one. So, you know, about 25 bucks or so. And like I said, paid about $5 for it. But this handsome fella here is a guy by the name of Phil Lesh, who I believe was the bass player from Grateful Dead. And then on the back here, there is some words here, which is a lyric, I guess, from one of the couple of songs that this gentleman wrote for and performed for the Grateful Dead. So anyway, Phil Lesh also had a solo career and a side project career. This shirt came from around about 2000, I should say. So it's vintage, barely, but $30 for that one. So that was one of the good Whatnot purchases, but that was what was nice about that is it was in good condition. Some of the issues I'm running with on Whatnot are they're just not always disclosing all of the condition issues. Or I should say, it's not that they're not disclosing them, they're just not, they're not witnessing, they're not seeing all of the condition issues that might be occurring. All right, this next item, when I found this a year ago, I thought I'd hit a jackpot of certain, to a certain extent. I've heard really good things about these things, and I saw there were 2 of them for $10 each, and so I bought them both, and I was super excited. And after a year later, I finally sold the first one, and it's this. It's a soft sculpture Cabbage Patch doll. These were a collector bought these, and so this is the nicer of the 2. The other one I bought had some sort of water type thing dripped all over the clothing and kind of stained it and stuff. So I'm selling that one without clothes. But these are essentially new, even though they have been displayed. But so this sold for $74.96. But check this out. To me, this is still crazy. So these came out in, I want to say 1984. I don't know if it says, but probably, 1985, let's say. The little tag on here says 1984, so right around there. We have an original price tag from JCPenney on this. $135 for that. In 1985. That is so much money. But you see, she's in really good condition. But man, these are not gold mines like I thought they were. I mean, it sold for good money. I made a very good profit on it, but it took a year. So I think I you know, like the hair color, the eye color, and the combination of those two has a lot to do with the value of Cabbage Patch. And I guess that the blonde hair and blue eyes, apparently not a great combo. All right, this next item, I actually had two of these. One of them sold relatively recently, like, I don't know, in the last month or so. And then the second one just sold right here. So this is a set of 2003 Upper Deck Play Ball baseball cards. There's a price tag on there. You probably can't see it, but originally this was sold for $40 for the complete set. I bought each of these for like $5 something each. $5 and some cents each. Took forever to sell. This has been in my shop for over 2 years. Finally sold, $17.90, free shipping. Good riddance to both of those. Wow. Took way too long. Way too long. Definitely a bad buy. Not a bad buy though was this. At my favorite thrift store a while back, came across two of these. They were like strapped together. These are called Cross Crunch. Total 90s picture on there, because I think these were from the 90s. Maybe. Probably the 2000s. Anyway, this is a ab exercise machine. Paid $2.50 for this one, $5 for both of them. And that sold for $34.95 plus shipping. Just a short couple of weeks as well. So great little pickup on that one. Got a price tag I need to take off on there. So, you know, 'tis the season right after the first of the year. There's a lot of exercise related items that can usually sell. So I wouldn't pick them up. You know, I wouldn't go crazy on them, but you can certainly expect to sell those decently through the month of January, I would say. Believe it or not, I sold a pair of shorts. And it's a really nice pair of Carhartt shorts here. These are some cargo Carhartt shorts. Relaxed fit, 42-inch waist. Paid $5.99 for these, and they sold for $18 plus shipping. Took forever to sell, but thankfully they finally sold in the middle of winter. Maybe they're going to California or something. Let's look. Going to somebody in Colorado, so maybe they're going on vacation. Or maybe he just likes to wear shorts. I'm definitely not as big into Carhartt shorts, unless you can get them really cheap, like $2-3. They just don't really sell that fast. If you can buy them for $2 or $3 and list them for 15, then they'll sell quickly. But you know, if you're paying more than that, you're going to want to get a little bit more out of it. You know, I had these originally listed for, I think, I don't know, $20 or something like that. Just took forever. Took probably 8 or 9 months to sell. Back to the point I was making earlier about natural fabrics. This is a 100% cashmere sweater by Paolo Mondo. Italian name, made in China. 100% two-ply cashmere. Picked that up for $5.99 at my thrift store. So paid a little bit more for it, and that sold for, I sent out a 5% offer on a $23 listing, so it sold for $21.84. But also in that I listed both of those at basically the same time, the merino wool and the cashmere sweater, so about a month at the most to sell those. So really quick turnaround. This one even had a little pinhole in it, which contributed somewhat to, I lowered the price. I would say without the pinhole, it could probably sell for maybe $30 or so, but that dropped the price a little bit accordingly, but still made a good profit on it. 2 more items left. This guy, when I found him, super stoked. This kind of falls into that. When I was talking about earlier about the sell-through rate, now the sell-through rate could potentially be super good on these items, but this is a toy that I got at a church rummage sale. And the problem with him is he, when I tested him, he didn't work. So I paid $5 for him. This is a Furby, good old Furby. And this particular one, he's not in the best of shape. In addition to the fact that he doesn't work, his or her, whatever, her fur is kind of a little scruffy. But this is a relatively rare Furby from 1998 tiger stripe with gray eyes. So the combination of the tiger stripes and the gray eyes on there is somewhat sought after. If that worked, probably would go for 70 bucks or so, at least when I comped it originally. But not working, takes a much longer time to sell, and the value goes down quite a bit. But still sold for $21.34 plus shipping. When I was testing this one, there was something about it. I think it maybe partially worked or something. What was the... No. I couldn't get it to turn on at all, but I ended up going down this rabbit hole of YouTube videos of people that can get Furbies to work using like a special trick. So if you do have a Furby that is worth a decent amount of money if it works, and when you go to test it, it doesn't work, search on YouTube for ways to get Furbies working again. I don't remember any of the tactics, but some of them are, it's actually pretty easy to do to try and fix it. It just didn't work for me on this one, so, but maybe it'll work on yours. Last item of the day, bought this a couple weeks ago. A little bit nervous it was gonna sit in my inventory for a year, but ended up selling right before Christmas. This is a Hallmark keepsake ornament polar coaster. Sold for $29.95. Picked it up for $3.99. And like I said, a little bit nervous with it being so close to Christmas that I wasn't going to sell it in time, but I bought 2 ornaments that day and they both sold, one for $25, one for $30, so that turned out to be a really nice day for Christmas ornaments. So this one's cool. It plugs in to your lights and it lights up, and I don't know, might be some movement on there as well in the coaster, something might move on it. Really cool ornament, new, never been used, $30 plus shipping. That's going to do it for today's video, so please like it if you did, subscribe to my channel to get some more content like this in the future. I hope that you take some of my reseller resolutions, implement them into your business, and you see some great success moving forward for you in 2025. So good luck with all of your reselling ventures. We'll see you on the next video, so take care. Bye-bye.